Hey everybody, Shane here with Flint Precision. Hey, just wanted to go over one of the newer Glocks out on the market, the Glock 43X. Just going to do a quick review of this pistol. This is not, I'm not going to get super detailed in it. I'm just going to do a rundown on it. I'm going to give you my personal opinions from my personal experience. I know everybody's experiences are different. Every situation is different, but I just want to give you my personal experience and how I feel about this gun in the conceal and carry market. I'm going to start off by saying I think Glock did a fantastic job with this pistol. When I first saw it come out, I was a little skeptical with this silver slide. But now that I have it in person, we have it for sale. I really like it, actually. I didn't know what to think about it at first. I've always had black guns, or, you know, we all spray paint them tan, or, you know, whatever guys do to them. But silver was just never really my thing on a Glock, and so this took me some getting used to. So now that I have it, like I said, I like it. I want to clear this real quick. I did it before the video, but just for peace of mind for everybody, the pistol has been cleared. There's no ammo in it, no magazine. Both magazines are over here, and they are empty. So, starting off, it comes with two 10-round magazines, single stack, which makes these a little bit thinner. For those of you that are not aware, a single stack obviously is just that, self-explanatory. It's single stacks. You have, like, for example, a Glock 19. It has a stagger stack magazine, so the rounds sit at an angle on each other and stack. It does give you a little more capacity than what this does, but you also gain bulkiness. So it's kind of a catch-22. Do you want bulkiness? Do you not want bulkiness? Do you want, you know, do you want it to be thin for when you're carrying or not? Not only is it thin for carrying for low visibility purposes, but it's also nice for being able to grip the pistol. Gripping this is like gripping a Glock 19, for example, but better, in my opinion. Because it is a little bit thinner, I'm able to get a little bit better grip on this gun personally. I don't like huge grips on guns. They don't work well for me. When I first went in the military running the Berettas, I just couldn't stand them. The grips were so big on them. I wasn't a fan. For about 5.5 years, overseas, I ended up transitioning, and we ran Glocks in our unit. And I ran the Glock 19 and Glock 26, and I liked the 19. It was a reliable gun. It was an extremely good gun, and we had a lot of luck with them. All the guys I worked with, we had great luck with these guns. Some guys are going to, oh, you know, it's like Chevy and Ford. Some guys are going to say, oh, I hate the Ford. Well, this Ford might, you know, last longer than that Chevy, and this Chevy might last longer than that Ford. It's personal preference. I will say that the Glock is not the prettiest gun on the market, but it is extremely reliable. It's extremely dependable, and when you pull it out of the holster, it goes bang. You don't have to worry about a safety other than the trigger safety right here, but you don't have like a manual safety switch back and forth to where when you pull it, you go, oh shoot, I forgot to take it off safe. It does not have that. So for those of you Glock owners, you guys already know all that. For those of you that don't own a Glock, it does not have a manual safety. It has a trigger safety. So the one thing I will say about this gun that Glock did do is they hit it out of the park on this mag release. For those of you that have owned Glocks in the past, you know that the mag release is generally a little bit smaller. It works fine. It always worked fine for me, but this one, I just like it better. I get a really good, it's just, you know, you've got your thumb on it, and it's easy to do, and you don't have to roll your hand to the side or anything like that to get the magazine to come out as much. It's just a lot easier to use, so I like that. Slide release, still the same, a little bit thin, but you know, it's not going to snag on something, but it is a little bit thin, but it works fine, and as long as you apply the proper pressure inward towards the slide, it will go forward. But I can see where some people don't like this slide release, just because it does get a little bit, I mean, it does not profile off the side of that gun very far. Just a couple specs on this pistol. The barrel on this is 3.41 inches. The gun fully loaded is 23 ounces, roughly, depending on what grain bullet you're running. And the capacity is 10 plus 1. It has a 0.87 inch wide slide. I mean, it's as wide as my finger. The overall width of the gun is 1.01, so they're probably referring, you know, to the mag release and whatnot. It sticks out a little further in the slide. So once you get into those, it's basically 1 inch wide. The trigger, it has a 1/2 inch travel. It's 0.49 inches to the rear before it goes click. And the trigger pull is 5.4 pounds. So we've already cleared this gun. We're gonna do it one more time before we pull the trigger, just to be on the safe side. Okay, and I'm just gonna show you guys the trigger pull on this. So hit the wall, there's trigger pull, trigger reset, trigger pull. Standard Glock trigger, guys. We've all ran them. Some hate them, some don't. I think it's great for this purpose. Do I think there's better out there if you're running a match, you know, a 3-gun competition? Probably need a different trigger. But for a conceal and carry gun, this is a great trigger. We used them overseas. Never had any issues with them. They worked fine. So, good trigger. The one other thing I want to talk about here is, and I'm going to probably get into some controversy on this one, but a magazine. I think every situation is different. Every tactical situation is different. Every personal self-defense situation is different. Some people say you never leave a magazine behind so you can load them later. You need your magazines. I would agree with that. There is times, though, depending on where you're at, whether you're in a vehicle, shooting from outside of a vehicle, you can maintain those magazines. And at that point, I'm not as super concerned about grabbing that magazine, putting it back in a pouch or a dump bag or something like that. I can just drop it. And with this one, you can do it. When you hit the button, it comes out, and I like that about it. I can control it with my pinky if I want to, so I've already hit the mag release, and now I can catch it if I want, or I can be grabbing my other magazine and come straight in. So I do like this magazine. It's definitely nice coming out of the gun. So big fan. Let's take it apart real quick. I'll show you guys how to do that for those of you that have not. So we're disassembling the gun, check it, make sure it's clear. And all you're going to do is you're going to pull the trigger to the rear. This is going to be your detent to remove the slide. So what I do is once you pull the trigger all the way to the rear, get your hand high up on the back strap, roll your fingers over the top. That's what I do, to where they're just right here on the slide. Now, you don't want to pull it back too far. You want to pull it back till you hear the first click. Once you hear the first click, you can then grab these and pull straight down on both sides. So there's your click, pull down, and your slide comes off. And here you got your trigger assembly, just like you do on any other Glock, with your trigger pin back here to take out and remove the trigger if you need to, and then you have to remove this front one as well. And then you take your feed tray out and whatnot, and you can take the trigger out. This is your slide, standard Glock slide. Got your spring, and you got your barrel. So 3.41 inches on the barrel. It's got an octagon barrel with a little over 9 twists. I think it's like a 954 twist on this. 115 grain bullets are going to shoot just fine out of it. To put it back in, all you do is just rock the barrel down into your bottom hole a little bit. Come back, reset it in, put your front spring on, and it'll lock onto the grooves of your barrel. Once you do that, on the very front right here, you've got these 2 wings. If you can see them, all you're going to do is take your slide. You're going to set it down onto the polymer part of the frame and get those to interlock back here. If I can do this while watching the video. And then rack it to the rear. From there, your weapon is charged. Your trigger is reset. You can then do a function check, pull the trigger, slide to the rear, reset, and pull it. You're back to good here. So overall, great pistol. I like it a lot. It's thin, it's compact, but you get a good grip on it. Feels solid, and yeah, guys, great pistol. I think this can be a good thing for the conceal and carry market. So if you like our videos, please subscribe. We have Facebook, we have Instagram. Please check us out on there. Like us. If you have any comments, stuff that you guys want to see or you guys want me to do differently, please leave them below. Please don't make it a bashing session. Just leave a comment below. Let us know what you'd like to see further or what you want to see less of. And thanks for your time, guys. I appreciate it.